Okay. Let's move on now to talk about leisure. What do you do in your free time?
Actually, I don't have many free time in a day. But when I have free time, I usually play sport and sometimes playing video game with my friend.
Okay. What is your favorite hobby?
I enjoy playing football. Like I said, because when I do it, I feel relaxed and I can do it with my friend together.
How often do you play football?
I usually playing football every day. I always play football every day.
Why do you think it's important to have hobbies?
Can you repeat that?
Yeah. Why do you think it's important to have hobbies?
Now I'm 20 years old and I have many things I have to do. So I think hobby is the thing keep me help me feel relaxed when I do it.
Okay, thank you. Let's move on to talk about clothes. What type of clothing do you like to wear most often?
I like t-shirt and short in the summer, like this.
Okay. How important is fashion to you?
Actually, I don't easily pay my attention from fashion, but sometimes when I hang out with my friend, I need to make me confident. It will make me confident.
Okay. What kinds of clothes do you dislike wearing?
Maybe I don't like wearing a suit because it when I wear it I feel so hot.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so we've listened to some mistakes from speaking part 1, and now let's talk about some of the things that he talked about in this case. And remember, when we're looking at speaking, we're looking at four areas that we look at specifically are the criteria: fluency and coherence, lexical, grammar, and pronunciation. With fluency and coherence, this is actually two parts. Fluency is about how comfortable you are with the language. So it's about how much you're speaking, and it's about limiting the amount of ums and uhs in this case. Coherence is about, it's actually two things. One is, does the candidate understand your question clearly? And the second thing is, does the person that's listening to you, are they able to follow your conversation? So it's actually twofold. One is about the candidate's understanding of the question, and the second thing is your ability to understand what the candidate is talking about. So there's two things there. Lexical is about the language that they use, and for this they're looking for flexible use of the language. In other words, you're using common phrases that we would use in English, idiomatic phrases, common phrases, like, for example, wake up in the morning, go to bed at night, watch TV, things like that. Those are common idiomatic phrases. And then the next thing is grammar, and this is mainly dealing with tense usage, article usage, countables and uncountables, etc. So you're looking for proper grammar. And then the last thing is pronunciation, and this is the part that many of my students feel that they're very bad at. But in general, pronunciation isn't too bad as long as you can understand what the words are being said by the candidate. So in context to what you're speaking about. So let's look at the different things that I heard with this. He talked about two topics. One was leisure or free time activities, and the other topic was about clothes or clothing that he likes to wear. For fluency and coherence, I think overall he answers the question and he was fairly coherent with everything that he spoke about. But he did have many cases of ums and ahs. So you want to be careful with that. Natural use of that is okay. I mean, you'll hear me do it right there. So that's okay, but you don't want to make it so it's too distracting. If you do it at every time, it gets a little bit distracting. And toward the middle of this talk, he had a little bit of pausing because he wasn't sure how to answer the question. But overall, it was pretty good. There was one part where he did do a little bit of repetition. He was saying, when I. You want to be careful not to do that. And sometimes that will happen when you get nervous. Or you're trying to get your words right. And so you might repeat the same phrase, like when I was a kid, when I was a kid, when I was a kid. And it gets a little bit distracting. But overall, he did use the ums a few times, but not too bad. And I talked about lexical before. They want to see that you can show more flexibility with the language. So you want to be careful not to repeat the same language. He used relaxed a lot, and that'll happen with my students. Sometimes they'll use the word comfortable or convenient too much. In this case, he didn't. In this case, he used the word relaxed. And something else with lexical, you want to make sure that you're using the language in the right situation or the words with the right situation. At the end of the second topic about clothes, he used the phrase, so bored. In other words, he was so bored with the wearing formal clothes or a suit. And so this doesn't really fit. Because bored means you're not interested or something's not exciting for you, or you don't have much to do. So the phrase so bored doesn't really fit the context of the situation. The next thing was grammar. In this case, he used the phrase, I don't have many free time. And with that phrase, many free time, many suggest a plural idea, but free time is a singular idea. So this word here, many, isn't really used correctly. So the word many, again, isn't used correctly. It's better to use a word like much, which is a singular idea. And he also had some problems with the final S sounds. Mainly with the word sometime. He should be using the word sometimes. And then playing video game with my friend. This is a plural idea. It should be in sometimes playing video games with my friends. That would be a better way of introducing that idea. And he also uses the phrase usually playing football. again, it should be usually play football. In other words, it's a present tense, not a continuous tense, because he's not playing football right now. It's an idea, so it's something that he does often, so it's to play football. And the last thing, overall, I thought his pronunciation was pretty good, except for toward the end of the close topic again. It was difficult to pick out wearing a suit. I wasn't sure whether he said suit or shoes, or he used both ideas. Again, I know what he means because of the situation or the context of the idea. So I understand what he's talking about, but you want to make sure that you're very clear with your language. So overall, I thought he did pretty good. Some pausing, some overusage of some words. So just make sure when you're using language, you try to think of other words that you can use that mean the same idea, or you want to use something like more synonyms of the word. So this is something that you can work on at home, is looking at synonyms of words. And one idea that I do have for my students is I always tell them to try to use a thesaurus. And now you can just go to thesaurus.com and you can find some good language, other words that mean the same idea. So this is a good idea. And it's the thesaurus.com, and you can look up some more language that way. Okay? Thank you.